One. Hello, WBS community. I hope you are doing well and you're ready for this upcoming spring semester. Many of you might not realize this fact that we have special courses that offer key insights into Islamic ministry. Now, this isn't a part of the regular curriculum, so nobody's required to take these courses, but we're so delighted to partner with the Lilliness Trotter Center, and I have two of their leaders on with me right now, and I'm going to ask them a few questions, but you can include these courses in your regular curriculum as a elective. So I was just talking with Dr. Benjamin Hedgeman here about one of his courses, and he was talking about how relevant it is for this time. So Dr. Hedgeman, could you just tell us a little bit about this course you're going to be teaching and why it's relevant for today?
The course is to study the Quran as the source document of the Islamic faith. And if you feel burdened by the Lord to have a really good understanding of what's been happening in the Gaza crisis since October 7th, this is the course for you. Because when you listen to Hamas, when you read their documents, when you look at their charters, it's running on 100% theology. It's a theological war that they're fighting, a religious war.
Wow.
And to understand that war, you need to read the source from which they are drawing, and that's the Quran, and a second book called the Sirah, which is a biography, which explains the actions of Muhammad as they recall it. And so Dr. Little is just reaching for it right now.
Okay.
Students will actually read significant portions of the book. They'll read the whole Quran. And from there, they will completely understand what Hamas is doing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So some people might say, well, Andy, why are you guys offering this type of, you're our Wesley Biblical Seminary. You're mainly thinking about biblical exegesis. What's the importance of understanding Islam for our time? As a softball question.
Massive number of immigrants. I mean, look at the protests that are taking place throughout the cities here in North America.
Yeah.
These people are sympathetic with the theology of Hamas.
Okay.
And so these people are now part of the North American community. They influence, they're influential writers. We need to understand them because they're coming in as refugees, and the African American community is seeing a significant growth of Islam as well. We need to understand what they're thinking. And this is part of our mandate. Our mandate is to bring everything into the light. Of course, like what Dr. Little and myself are offering, and others like Mark Dury, brings these things into the light.
Let me just add
go ahead.
that the course on the Quran in the Sirah, when we as Christians and pastors talk with Muslims, our neighbors, we meet them in Walmart or whatever, unless we've had some exposure to Islam, we tend to think they sort of have a religion like ours. They believe in Jesus, they believe in God, so that's great.
Yeah.
But when you actually know what they believe, then you can have very profound conversations with them. But if every time you speak a word, they misunderstand it because you're speaking Christian theology at them and they're speaking Islamic theology, you take this course, you understand where they're coming from, and you can talk to them in a far more profound way.
Wow. That's great. Dr. Little, we also have another course that we're offering about deliverance ministry in an Islamic context. And this is taught by Dr. Mark Drury. Could you just tell us a little bit about that course?
So Mark Drury is an Australian linguist and Anglican priest. And from early age, he was involved in street ministry, helping drug addicts and prostitutes come out of that life, and a lot of demonic bondage in their lives. So he got very involved in deliverance. And then over time, he got involved with Muslims. And he's an amazing scholar. He studied the Quran and the Sirah and all of these documents. So he understands Islam profoundly.
He does.
And he's developed this course where he looks at the Bible, looks at what Jesus taught about deliverance and casting out demons and spiritual warfare. He goes through church history, spends quite a bit of time in the Reformation talking about how Calvin and Luther and others understood this issue, and the Catholic Church understood it. And then he jumps ahead to the 19th and 20th centuries and portrays all the different streams of approach, including Catholic and Orthodox, as well as multiple Protestant streams. And the whole time he's integrating it with understanding Islam and this particular bondages that Muslims have when they come to Christ. But 90% of the course is valuable if you never meet a Muslim. So it's an excellent course for any pastor, any Christian layperson to be involved in. You can help your brother or sister, your friend, when they're having nightmares and schizophrenia that's not psychological illness, but demonic.
Yes.
You'll be equipped to deal with it.
Well, this is
Mark,
a similar emphasis that we've had, and a lot of times it comes when people experience this type of deliverance that will lead them to Christ.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's often through the work of the supernatural or the miraculous, which at Wesley Biblical Seminary we affirm God is still active and wanting to do these type of things, and this is a part of our Great Commission task. So we're so thankful to have our partnership with the Lillian Trotter Center. Of course, there are plenty of other courses. I want to encourage all students, get in there and sign up for your classes now. We have a great semester. We have ahead of us. So thankful for the 250 plus GMC students who've come on board lately, and our regular master's level students and auditors. So thanks. Thank you so much, Don and Benjamin, for taking time to tell us about these classes.
Welcome.
Thank you.